Hello everyone, welcome to the next lesson in Power Apps course. In previous lesson we have learnt about how we can add different data sources in Power Apps, and in this session I was about to start with connecting Power Apps with SharePoint, but then I thought to first let's start with Excel sheet because Power Apps provides some template applications with the help of which without writing any code we can perform the CRUD operation in our Excel sheet. So this will help us to understand about what different capabilities Power Apps has and how we can perform the data operation on Excel sheet or any other database. So let's first start with creating Power Apps using Excel sheet. So in this video, we are going to create a Power Apps which can perform the CRUD operation on Excel sheet which has the employee information. So let's first create the Excel sheet. I'm just opening my Excel application. Then create a blank workbook and add few columns over here. For example, employee number, and then first name, last name, gender, date of birth, and country. Now, in previous video, I told you that Power Apps can only read the data from Excel if it is in table format. So we have to format this as a table. So select your data and click on Format as Table and select any template. Click on My Table has headers and click on OK. Now this is formatted as table and our Power Apps can now read this table. Define the table name. Instead of table 1, we will say employee table. And for now, let's add one row. So employee number is, let's say, EMP001. First name is Mayuresh. Last name Zoshi. Gender male. Date of birth 21/09/1993. Country India. In this way, we have added our first row in this Excel sheet. And now, if we don't want users to put uh, a free text under this gender column and under this country column, we can create two more tables. So let's say one table is country, another table is gender. So this country table, let's has India, US, UK, China, these countries. So we can format this as table, or you can press Ctrl T to format as table. Then also gender as male, female, other. You can format this as table again. And here select the gender column, go to the data validation, allow list, select this symbol and select this one. So you can click on OK. And now if you see, it will only allow you to select values from this drop down. Similarly for India, we can do like the same way. Select a list, click on OK. And here also now they can select, sorry, I have selected wrong. So click on validation, India. Okay. Yes. Here I need to select gender. On OK. Okay. Perfect. Our Excel sheet is ready. We have the employee table. Let's name this table as country table and this table as gender table. So we have three tables. Let's save this Excel sheet. I will save it at my desktop and I'll say employee info. Click on save. Okay, let's close this Excel sheet now. Now navigate to your portal.office.com. Okay, navigate to your OneDrive application because Power Apps can read the Excel sheet if they are uploaded on OneDrive. navigate to your My Files and upload your newly created Excel sheet here. Employee info. Okay, it is added. Now let's create the Power Apps application. So navigate to Power Apps Studio, and on the home page we can see there is one option to build your business app using Excel. So we can also use this blank app, but this will if we use this feature, we have to manually create the screens, formulas, functions manually to update the data in that Excel sheet. So for now, we will go with this template app, which is a three screen app. So we'll start with this one. Then it will ask me to select a connector. So we will select OneDrive for Business from here. So it's not added here. So I'll click on new connection. Just search for, yes, OneDrive for Business. Click on create. Select the account. Allow the access. And that connector is connected. Uh, and now I can select that employee info. And here we need to select the employee table. So I will click on that and I will click on connect. Now, as soon as I do that, the Power Apps start building the apps for you. It will create three different screens from where you can navigate to the browse screen or detail screen or edit screen. So if you see in this tree view, we have those three screens. Now if you play the app, you can see that one entry that I added is visible over here. Now let's walk through some details about these screens. So first screen is browse screen, where we have one gallery. So this gallery, if you see the formula, it is basically getting the data from this employee table. Okay, and it is sorting based on the country. And there is one search formula as well. So you might be it will be difficult for you as a beginner to understand about how this search works, but we are going to learn about the search functionality, the sorting functionality in our upcoming videos. But if you see here, we have search items as well, where we can search based on the these columns: country, employee number, and first name. So then we have few other rectangles, search box, search text. So these controls are used for performing different operations. Then we have one detail screen where we can see the detail about that selected employee, and we have the edit screen to edit the data for that employee. Then on click of this tick mark, we are submitting the form. So submit form is one of the function in Power Apps to submit the data. We will learn about all these functions in our upcoming videos. So let's start with this browse screen. So play this app, and on click of this plus icon, we can create new entry. If you want to move these controls up and down, there are two ways to do that. So just go to this edit form, and if I want this employee number at the top, so I can select that control and I can drag it like this. There is another way. Just select that edit form, go to fields, and move this first name to the top, employee number to the top, then first name, then last name, uh, gender, country, and date of birth. And here, let me add EMP002. So here we are basically adding new employee in our Excel sheet. Let's say John, last name as J, gender male, country India, and date of birth. And on click of this tick mark, this will get saved, and you see that that second entry got added over here. Now if I search for John, it will give me this entry because it is searching based on this country So you can see those columns: country, employee number, and first name. Now, if you see in this gallery, we have three controls. Now, if I want to show here the first name, and if I want to show the last name as well, so we can concatenate two strings. First is first name, and we can use ampersand this item dot last name. And if I want to put space between first name and last name, I can again put a space like this and. So in this way, we have first name space last name. There is another way to concatenate. So let's say I want to concatenate this employee number with employee number string. I can make use of concatenate function. So these are the PowerFX functions that we have learned in our previous videos. So if you see this link, PowerFX functions, under this we have this official documentation to see the concatenate function. So this concatenate function, it basically concatenate individual string and text. So I can concatenate employee number, but I want it as like employee number, comma, and then second value, and here I can put semicolon space. So here you can see that I have concatenated this employee number with the actual employee number. Then we have this sorting capability. So let's see, sorting. So it's basically sorting on this country. So let me update the John's country as, so I'll put here the country. So here both entries are related to India, that's why it's not sorting. So if I update the John's country as uh, US, and if I go back and if I now sort, you can see that sorting is also working. So basically we can create the new record using plus button. We can edit the record using this pencil icon. We can view the record by clicking on that record, and we can even delete the record using this delete icon. So if I delete it, you see that it's got deleted, and the same changes will be reflected under here under this Excel sheet. So in this way we have basically done the CRUD operation on Excel sheet using this out of box or a standard template in Power Apps, which has these three screens. Now let's say I have one more requirement inside this screen. So if you remember, we did created two separate tables for country and gender. But here we have the free text so that user can put any wrong value here as well. And we want to restrict them from entering the predefined list of values. To do that, just select the form, click on edit fields, and now we want to add a drop down under this gender field. So I will expand this, and instead of control type as edit text, I will say allowed values. So select this control, and you see that text box got changed into drop down. So this is basically a drop down. Now its item property, if you see, let's play this, and if you see, we are not getting any values here when I click on this drop down. That is because if you see the items property of this drop down, it is parent dot allowed values. Now the parent of this data card value is this data card. So what is the parent of this control? It's the this one. Now the allowed properties, so if you see here, parents allowed values. Okay, so what is parent? Parent is this, and its allowed values is what? This one, data source info dot allowed values gender. But the parent also does not have any proper allowed values. So let's unlock this, and let's comment this formula because this formula is not working. And here we need to say male, comma, female. And now if you play the app, you see that we are getting option male and female. But here, what we did, we have hard coded the drop down values. We don't want to do this. So what we can do? So if you remember, in our Excel sheet, we did created uh, two tables, one for gender, one for country. So let's add these two tables as a data source in our Power Apps. So I will go to data source, add data, search for OneDrive, Excel, select the connector, select OneDrive for business, select OneDrive, select employee info. Now choose country table as well as gender table and click on connect. Now click on connect and it will add those two tables as data source here. Now we need to, instead of this hard coded table, we need to use gender table. And when I added that, you see that we got the values male, female, and other. But the parent column name is gender, okay, which is not matching with this update formula. That's why we are getting this error. So instead of dot value, make it gender. And now when I play the app, we can see, okay, we are not able to see the values now. These are blank. So just go to that drop down, and here this is a new learning for you. Um, the value is allowed values, and we need to use allowed values. Okay, something was wrong, but it's now started populating. Yeah, male, female, and other. So it's working, so there was no issue. Let's change similar to the country as well. So I will select the edit form, click on edit fields, click on country, change the type as allowed values. Now go to its parent value, unlock this one, and go to allowed values, and instead of this formula, just say country table and update the update formula as update of this. Okay, uh, let me explain you what is this update. So whenever you write any value in any of the fields, okay, so when you save that form or when you update that row, whatever value is you have entered in that field, that needs to get saved in the backend. So we have to tell the Power Apps that which value Power App need to update in the backend. So here the update formula, here we are telling Power Apps that it need to update the data card value 15. That means this drop down, the selected value of that drop down, Power App need to update in the backend. We are saying whatever selected country of this drop down user has selected, Power Apps need to update that value in the backend. So here we are again getting blank values. So some error is there. So we'll just try to fix that. Okay, seems like this is some bug in the Power App, but now it started working. So we can see the countries as well. So now I will say I will add new record. Let's say this time it's uh, Jacob M. Okay, sorry, this is employee number. So I will say EMP003, Jacob M. Gender is male, country is China, date of birth, and I will save this. and we are getting some error. The requested resource is locked. So this error occurs when the file is locked. So this is a common issue in Power Apps. So you need to make sure that you have not locked this file. So don't open this file during whenever someone is trying to update or create the items in that Excel sheet. So if you keep this file open, you will get the lock error. So let's try it. No, the requested resource is still locked. Um, so let it be. But this will work. So maybe that file is now locked. So we it takes around 5 to 10 minutes to for this file to get unlocked. And just play it again. Click on save. No, it is still locked. So let's try to update the existing entry. No. Anyways, so after waiting for 5 minutes, that file will get unlocked and you will be able to update that record as well. So this was it about how we can add custom drop-down values in the forms. In our upcoming videos, we will do this very frequently, so you will get more understanding on how we can do this. But for now, just understand that we were able to add a form and we were able to add our custom drop-downs in that form. In the next video, we are going to learn about how we can create a similar application but with the help of SharePoint list. And in that case, we are going to create it from scratch without using the template screen so that we will get understanding about how these functions works, how we can develop the application using actual PowerFX functions, how we can perform the CRUD operation on SharePoint list, how we can navigate to different screens, and all other functionalities. So in the next session, we will try to create a new record in SharePoint list. We can try to show the records in gallery. So whatever functionalities this application has, we will try to implement those on our own using our custom actions. So till then, if you have any questions related to this video or this topic, please let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to get updates related to our next videos. And finally, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.